in. All right, we're recording, guys. Happy Thursday. Not
Yep.
Thursday, Wednesday. I've done that all day. Oh my gosh. Anyways, today's Wednesday. But we are super excited because we are getting to have Ashley talk on our team call tonight. Ashley is a Diamond coach. She started at the beginning of the year. She was also on the winning Team Cup team with Ashley and a million amazing, well, not a million, 3 other amazing babes, but they absolutely crushed it. She's also a boy mom, a dog mom, an LEO wife. She's crushing her own transformation and her business too. And we're really excited to ask Ashley to speak for you guys because we wanted to kind of give perspective for a newer coach that's obviously finding her, tread and success in the business. So we are so excited to hear from you, girl. Take it away.
Okay. Well, one, I'm sweating and I stand. I was just telling you guys that I stand when I do these calls because I still get super nervous. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on like how I got to where I got to, because I feel like my past and my story behind it is like really important. At the end of this call, I will take any questions you have, anything. I just don't read the chats because I'm like a squirrel and I like go all over the place. So anyways, I put it this way. I came back to Beachbody in January. So a little backstory on me is about 4.5 years ago, I just was mentally in a really bad place. I had just had my son. There was a lot going on. And I, like in my head, knew that I needed to, well, I didn't need to. I wanted to lose the baby weight. I wanted to go back to work wearing like pre-pregnancy clothes just because I know how hard I had gained a lot of weight and I just wanted to work really hard to get it off. So I had found a friend on Facebook who looked amazing after having her kids. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, Beachbody. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And next thing you know, I started with the 21-day fix. And that program, the portion control containers, all of that like really set me up for success. I had been running on a treadmill, eating lean cuisines, Splenda-filled coffees, Diet Coke like it was my job. Like I would be lucky enough if I had 8 ounces of water a day. Like I think of that now and I'm so disgusted by it. But live and learn, right? So I had started with the programs and my big transformation was I lost 72 pounds in 9 months. And 4.5 years later, I'm still here. I'm still at that weight where I lost it all and I feel incredible. So once I started doing the programs and all of that, I realized there was a coaching opportunity and it was presented to me. So I was actually a coach prior to re-signing up in January. And I'm telling you all this because it obviously like leads together. But so I had coached actually for about 2.5 years. I did reach Diamond. I had a lot of success. I was actually a Success Club All-Star, a bunch of different things. But I did not realize like the rules and regulations that come with Beachbody, that when you sign up with a team, you can't just switch coaches. And I don't want any of you to think like I am preaching for you to do that because you're all on an amazing and incredible team. But unfortunately, the team that I was on, it just wasn't a good fit. And also it was falling apart. People were quitting left and right. I learned everything on my own. I mean, everything that like Ashley and all you guys as coaches give to people is not something that I had. So anyways, I had coached, I thought I was successful, but I just never felt like I fit in. Like I started to lose the passion for Beachbody. I started to lose like my love and my drive. I am a full-time executive assistant. Like I have another job, but I loved coaching. Like it was never another job, but it started to turn into that. And at the time around 80-day obsession, I think, I started to have some major gut issues where basically I would eat something and I would look about 6 months pregnant after every single meal. It was really uncomfortable. It was awful. And I ended up seeing a dietitian and nutritionist. And during that time, because we were trying to figure out like what was causing this, because I did eat clean, I did eat healthy, I worked out 6 days a week, we couldn't figure it out. So at that time, she wanted me to stop drinking Shakeology. So it was kind of like between having to stop drinking Shakeology, being on a team that was completely falling apart, losing my passion, losing my drive, I quit coaching. It was literally the worst and best decision I have ever made. It was so hard because I never wanted my challengers to think that I was giving up on them. And something that I did, and I still do to this day, is I am completely honest, almost sometimes to a fault. But I think that just instills trust in people. And I came out to all my people and said, listen, this is what's going on. I didn't bash the team I was on. I didn't bring up any of that because it wasn't anybody else's business. I just said, I'm going through a lot of health issues right now. I need to focus on myself. But I will always support you. I plan to come back, hopefully, whatever. So I was very honest, very truthful from the start. Everybody got an email. And during the 6 months that I had to quit, I still showed up to social media. I still posted. I still did my videos. I still did Beachbody programs. The only difference is I didn't drink Shakeology. And I started drinking Energize because I really wanted the discount. And I tried all these other pre-workouts and nothing compares. So during that time, I really reflected on, do I want to coach? Why did I sign up in the beginning? Why, do I want to go back to it? It kind of was a little bit of a nice break of not having to really show up. I just could do it when I wanted. But seeing coaches, and I had followed Ashley for years, but seeing other coaches, it's like the FOMO, right? Seeing what they're doing and this tribe that everybody talks about that I was never in. It was me and then everybody else. And so I just really went back and forth with different things. Do I want to go back? Do I not? Whatever. And I'll never forget, Ashley posted something. I forget what it was. And it was why wouldn't I go back? I need to go back. People had been reaching out to me. That was the other thing, is people were like, hey, when are you coming back? You mentioned you were, because they saw that I kept showing up and all of that. So almost 6 months to the day, I think I signed up 6 months in a day. There were a couple of coaches that I looked at. Ashley was one that I followed for a while. And I told her, whether she appreciated it or not, I said, I signed with you because you're honest, you like to drink, and you love dogs. And that is me. I have kids too, but that's who I am, right? And so I signed with her, and it was just kind of all right, let's go. And then I signed in January. I hit pretty high numbers in January, I think partly because I came back, but I was just so consistent and so honest with people that they knew that they could trust me. I know you hear about people saying, be consistent, show up. But I'm telling you, if you do that, your people will come. And so I had hit really high numbers in January. And the whole Team Cup thing is really funny because I had obviously in the past been on Team Cups. They were great, whatever. And Ashley had reached out to me and was like, hey, would you want to be on this team with me? I'm like, are you nuts? I don't even know you. This is insane. And she had asked me, and I was like, whatever. And then someone had posted in the Coach Family page about looking for Team Cup members. And I think I posted something on it, and she commented again and said, I have a spot for you. And I was telling my husband, and a lot of people's husbands, I get it. Well, I don't really get it, but they just don't support coaches sometimes. He's always supported me from before and now. And he was like, why do you keep saying no? She obviously sees something in you that you're not seeing yourself. I just don't understand. Why aren't you saying yes? I don't ever listen to him, ever. But then the one time that I did, I was like, why can't I? Because I had stopped looking at the numbers we had to hit and thought about the amount of people that we were helping. And I was like, minimum 20 people, I can do it. Why can't I? And then it was just off to the races. And I think within 2 weeks, I hit those numbers. It was a great experience. I came out of my shell. I always say I punched fear in the face, and I just believed in myself for once. But that's kind of who I am. I'll take questions. I'll do whatever. And the reason I tell you about my past is because I feel a little dishonest when I say, I signed up in January. I'm not really a new coach, but I am. But I think it's just really important for you guys to know my past. So I did know a lot of coaching and all of that. But I did not hit numbers like I did since I came back. the teams that we're on is just absolutely incredible. Like what they provide for trainings and just that whole tribe aspect. It's everything that I wanted that I just didn't have before. And that's just like kind of who I am, what I do. Just, again, I preach the being consistent, the showing up every day, posting on social media, doing those, tasks, whatever that, maybe we don't want to invite one day or we don't want to follow up because we're nervous of what people are going to say. Just do it. Show up every day, throw in a podcast. I preach about, how do you say her name? I always say it wrong. Keisha Fitzgerald, empower her. She like lights my soul on fire. I listen to her podcast like every day and, just like show up and do all the things and just be honest. That's the other like big thing that I preach is, I'm very honest. And again, there are things I post on social media and it's like, oh my God, why did I do that? But people know like who you see here is who you will meet at Summit. Like this is me. And I think some people out there they try to be people that they're not. And then you meet them and you're like, huh. And I never want people to think that about me. I want to support people. I want to empower people. And so just be yourself because people are signing up because of you, not because of, someone you're trying to be and things like that. It's funny too. I actually connected with another coach under Ashley and her and I randomly just started talking and we're kind of like Success Club partners now, or Success Partners, whatever. And I'm just so thankful for this team and just everything about it. And yeah, that's me, guys. That is me. What else do you want?
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I knew like a little bit of the background, but I love how, like you said, just honest and transparent and all of that. Cause the thing is like, yes, you like knew, kind of like the backbones of coaching and all of that, but it's different actually, putting it all together, joining a new team, being in a new environment, surrounded by, different people, obviously, like-minded, because I think we're all on the same team for a reason. But I just think it's, it takes a lot of lady balls to do what you do. So, what was I going to ask you? Oh, so can you run through like what kind of a day in the life looks like for you? Because especially, we've got moms, we've got, busy full-time job workers. I'm one of them. Kayla is actually getting ready to go full-time Beachbody.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But we've got a lot of busy people. So what does your day look like?
Okay. So, what I preach to is I was the excuse queen. Like I would always start on a Monday, right? You probably have heard that. My best friend still says like, I'll start next Monday. That was me. I lived off that awful food that I told you about. I would come home and run on a treadmill. But I had every excuse in the world. And now it's like, I tell people, I'm like, oh no, if you know my schedule, like you guys don't have an excuse. So basically the life of me, I get up between 4 and 4:15 every single morning. I am doing the morning meltdown. I'm in the pilot group right now. So we have to wake up and work out in the morning, which has been awesome. But that's the only time that I can work out without being bothered. Sometimes my 4-year-old gets up and joins me at that time. So I get up at that time, I work out, then I get ready. I have to get 2 kids ready for school that go to 2 different schools in 2 different towns because my husband is a police officer. His schedule is all over the place. He's gone by that point. So I get them up, I bring them, and then I go to work. I am an executive assistant at a nonprofit agency. So I work 8 hours a day. My thing, and I know people probably don't want to hear this, but I do have a really good job that I have my own office and we do have some downtime. So what I do is where you hear about like fitting it in, where you hear about fitting it in and like the mom cracks and things like that. My job, I've been there for 11 years. People know like if Ashley gets it, she gets it done. And so I've really like, I work for the president, but she doesn't like bother me because I get my stuff done. So what I do is I fit in coaching in the times that are quiet at work. I don't really take a lunch break. I sit at my desk so I can do it then if I see my phone ping with a message, I'll answer back. I try to show up on my stories during the day on Instagram because I need to be a little careful because my Facebook is private, but my Instagram isn't. And I know work people watch my stories. So like I may do something stupid, like a boomerang of me drinking water or like something funny I saw, but I don't do like a ton. Then I get out of, and I also listen to, my personal development on my way to work. That's like my time. I can actually enjoy a hot cup of coffee without kids bothering me. And I stream podcasts. I joke that my personal development is on my way into work, and then I'm annoyed. So on my way home, I listen to murder podcasts. So that's what I do, like crime junkies or whatever. Yeah, so good. So, and I just get annoyed at work. So it like works out perfect. So, and then it depends. If my husband's schedule, like he works all over the place. So it's usually me, again, picking up the boys, going to 2 different schools. I also have 2 dogs. So I have to rush home to get them out. So my life is chaotic. I also do, obviously coaching at night. Like I do need to be better about it because I feel like sometimes I am on my phone when I need to be more present with my boys. So some things that I do is my oldest takes karate. And so if my husband is home, I will take him to karate and actually sit in the car for the 45 minutes and I'll do coaching then. I'll do my follow-ups. I'll do my invites. I'll show up on social media, things like that. And then I also do it at night before I go to bed. So I kind of just fit it in where I can. But what I tell a lot of my new coaches too that have a real, like I'm very organized, like that's my thing. So it's not a problem for me to fit it in, but I know for some people it is. I don't have it with me here, but Brendan Bouchard's planner, the High Rise Performance Planner. It's like, it's like $15 on Amazon. You guys, if you have trouble following a schedule or being organized, go do yourself a favor and buy it. You literally plug in. It's like every half hour you can schedule out your day. So I tell a lot of my new coaches where they try to tell me they don't have time, and I'm like, hold up. This is what you need to do. Literally plan out from the second you wake up, when you do your workout, like put in the necessities, right? You have to work out, you have a job, maybe a lunch break, or you have a doctor's appointment, whatever. Schedule it in and then look at where the cracks are. Plug in your invites during those, 15 minutes. Do your follow-ups. And the other thing with follow-ups too, I'm not the best at them, and I kick myself because I just did a ton of them yesterday because in my brain I was like, I don't, like, they ghosted me, like I don't want to follow up, and like 3 out of the 5 people were like, I'm still interested. Like, so we have to like get out of our own way. But that planner is huge if you have a hard time scheduling your day and figuring out the times. Another thing that I did, and I heard Moira Kukaba talk about this, is she gave up Netflix. She gave up things going out. There's certain shows. I'm a Bravo junkie. I love Vanderpump and all those shows. And so Friday nights are usually when I take like an hour or so with my glass of wine or a few glasses and I watch my shows. But other than that, I don't watch TV. I will watch the Bruins later just because I want them to win. But I don't really sit and watch television. So on a Friday night, that's what I do. But if I have messages going on or whatever, like that is my passion, my plan. Like Kayla, I want to go full-time Beachbody. I do a lot with my kids in their school, but there are things that I miss that I can't be at. And I want that flexibility. So my ultimate goal is to eventually become a full-time coach. So I do give up things like that. I still go out. I still have fun with friends. I do tons of stuff with the kids, but sometimes there are things that like, I don't need to watch TV right now. I'd rather build my business, and it's my passion. I found that passion again. So I like put that stuff to the side. So that's kind of my day, my schedule.
Okay. Like we are basically the same person.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I love that what you just said, because like I like feel like we try to preach this a lot too, but the whole thing about making little sacrifices, like we are big fans of Keisha also, And so there was something that she had talked about, like, is it really a sacrifice?
Right.
Is really what you're doing a sacrifice? And so, like, I just love that you said that, because it's like, if you're treating this like a business, like, you know, with the CEO of Nike, like, is he just like chilling on the couch, like not doing anything because he just doesn't feel like it? Or is he actually like making things happen, you know? And so I just love that that's how you view it, because that's how we should view it if we're truly working this as a business, you
100%.
know? So yeah. And what else was I going to say about that?
Well, you know what I want to say about that, if you don't mind, because I'm going to like,
no, go ahead.
say this. When I coached before, I treated it like a hobby. It was fun. It was like, do this, do that. And I think the highest number I got in Success Club was like SC12, which is still great. But again, I treated it like a hobby. I did it when I felt like it.
Yeah.
When I came back in January, I was like, no, I want to do this full time. I want to find my passion again. And I treat it like a business. Some days are better than others. But when you do that, you will see the difference, obviously, in your business. You know, here I was with Team Cup and was like, absolutely not, no way, not doing it. Can't hit those numbers. And I was one of the first people, obviously, other than Ashley, but to hit those numbers. And it was like, wait a second, I can do it. I treated it in those first 2 weeks like a business. I actually think my actual job suffered a little bit because I was like, no, I have to do this. But again, like, and I preach to my coaches too, like, if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. It's going to be a hobby, and that's how it is. If you want to treat it like a business and you be the CEO of your business, then it's going to be. You know, a big thing with my coaches is some of them, they want the success, obviously. We all do, right? And they want all these things, but I can see them not putting the work into it. I also see that where I'm sacrificing maybe not watching Vanderpump on Friday, but they're going out to the bar with friends because they want to. Well, if you really want this as a business, maybe don't go out, or, you know, go out for an early dinner with your friends and then go home and work your business. So I think it comes down to however, like, what do you want? Do you want to treat it like a hobby, or do you want this as a business? And just like you said, like short-term sacrifices, I mean, they're going to lead to ultimately being a full-time coach and being financially free and, you know, doing all the things. So yeah.
I love that, and I think maybe Keisha said this in her story the other day. We had her speak on our call. I mean, like, we're obsessed with her. But she said the other day, she said, instead of saying I don't have time for this, say this isn't a priority. And like, see how that like tastes in your mouth a little bit. And I really had to like come to Jesus with myself, saying that to me about other things going on in my life. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Like, you know, and that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Is, you know, it's a priority.
Well, a lot of people, they tell me, because I'm still working full time, but they're like, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, it's because I make the time. Like, I just find the time. And so it requires, because I also get up around 4:15 or 4:30 so I can drink my pre and get my workout in. And I know that seems crazy to some, but like, I need the time at night to do things like this, because this is my business.
Right.
This is the business meeting. And so that helps me get up on those days, because I'm like, no, I can't work out at night because I've got this meeting.
Yep.
And so you have to switch your mindset. Like, if you truly want this as a business, you know, depending on what pace you're going and things like that. So because this has been kind of like up in the air for us as far as like invites go, about like, how many do you aim to send? Is it a daily goal or a weekly goal?
So it's awful, and I hate to even like say this like out loud. I just talked about this to someone last night. I don't have a number. I don't, because what I am finding too is that I really want to connect and make genuine connections with people before I send that invite, because I have been, you know, if somebody I think Heather Shipley said, like, if someone's watching your story or if somebody is liking your picture, it's not like a cold invite, right? Like, they invested in that time. You should be able to invite them. I 100% agree. But I have cold invited these people and I get ghosted or absolutely not. So I would rather connect with people. I still do a lot on Facebook. Like, there's a lot of people on there that I still connect with. And I still do my follow-ups, like, regularly. So I don't have a number. I do need to be better. Like, I wish I was like, I send 50 a day or whatever, but I don't want to come across salesy. There's so many MLMs right now that I don't want to be like in that category. I've had a lot. It's awful. I've had a lot of people come back to me that were former challengers. I have had a lot of people that have just watched me throughout the years. So we speak and whatever. But I try to connect with people before I invite. And, it's commenting, it's liking, even just a quick reply to their story so that they know that I'm watching. There's other people that I would love to coach with me, for me, whatever. And they're just like, no, it's not my thing. But these people are amazing. We've connected through Instagram, as odd as that is. I mean, it's not, because we're all coaches. This is what we do. But I never would have met these people. And now we have this like friendship, and they may at some point sign with me. They may not. But I don't have a set number. I just kind of, if I have a lot of time, I'll send out people that invites that people I've been talking to. Right. If I don't, then I do try to do like a minimum, like 5 to 10 a day. But again, I can't give a real number. Everybody always asks me that, like there's some secret, and you guys all know because you're all coaches, but I feel like if I say like, oh, I do 100 a day or this, and that's how I'm hitting those numbers, it's not.
Well, it's good to hear that, because when I first started, that was one thing I never did, was invite. I was terrible at it. And I'm big on like building relationships and connections. And so here lately, there was like a switch or shift when, you hear like Heather Shipley and people say, I send 80 a day, or and I'm just like, okay, well, maybe that's what we need to be doing. Maybe that's, I never sent that many a day. That was kind of outrageous. But, so now I'm like, no, I'm getting back to like who I am and connecting, but it's not just connecting through DMs. It's like connecting through your stories and showing up every single day. And so like, that makes such a difference right now, because, you'll have people come back to you that they're like, I've been watching you for a few months, or, I have a girl right now. She asked me how I have so much energy because she stopped her Beachbody workouts. And I was like, girl, I have it because I drink the pre-workout and I do the workouts. Right. And long story short, she said that she had quit. She was kind of like a discount coach, and she wants to get back into it. And it's because she's been watching, and we just simply had like a few sentence conversation, and it's just, I'm all about the showing up every single day, no matter how you feel, even if it's just a picture or a meme or whatever, but that's such a big deal. So thank you for reiterating that.
Oh, yeah. And when I coached before, I will show up every single day, no matter what is going on in my life. Yeah. I could also have a lot going on that people don't know about, that I may not be caring about. And so what's interesting about that is when I quit, I was like, how am I quitting because of my stomach, when this would be a good thing to talk about and share about, stories and all that? It looks like, well, I can't show up, I can't coach now because of it. So it was kind of like a snowball effect, but I still talk about it. I'm also very honest with people. I don't drink Shakeology every single day. And the reason for that is because of my gut issues. One of the issues I have are mushrooms, which Shakeology is made with. And so I will have it a couple times a week, but I don't drink it every day. I swear by it. I swear, legal disclaimer, can't say this, but I swear it got rid of my thyroid disorder that I had, or helped get rid of it and get me off the medication. But I preach it because I know it works. It lowered my father's blood pressure. Again, legal disclaimer. But I'm so honest with people about that you know, that's another thing that I think people like trust with me. And I want to say something to you guys too, that when we were away for Team Cup, one of the corporate, Sydney, I can't think of her last name, but
I think it's Mauer.
Yes. She's incredible. I swear, people that are like born and bred in Utah are the nicest people ever. And so she is from Utah. And so anyways, that's besides the point. But she was telling us, like we were talking about, or she was telling Jody, I think, we were just talking about like trying to rank advance and all the things. But something she said, and it's been in my head, is we are all on a team where some leaders have really high Success Club numbers. And these numbers are not like that on every team. So we end up being like, you know, some of us compare ourselves or, you know, whatever. And we have to remember, like Success Club, if you hit Success Club 5, that's huge. Like, be thankful that you helped those 3 people this month. If you hit Success Club 6 or Success Club 8, like whatever, you are still changing lives. Like, don't see these high numbers and be like, oh my gosh. The way she said it, it was kind of like an aha moment, because it was like, yeah, I had really high numbers January, February, March. April and May, not so much. I still hit Success Club though. I still change people's lives. But I keep thinking of what Sydney said, and she's, you know, a lot of teams don't have those leaders with high numbers. So she's like, you guys have to stop comparing yourselves, or not striving for high numbers like that, but just know, like, it's not normal. And just to hit Success Club 5 is huge. And I know that Moira, she said, I feel like it was in a Diamond Dash or something, I forget. She was a top 10 coach. She's clearly been very successful. Million Club, I think, all of that. I think she hit Success Club. It's like 5, 6, 8, like 10. Like, she doesn't hit high numbers, and look at how successful she is. So I just want to say that, because I think people, you know I like do the comparison game sometimes, and then I like check myself. But I think that's just like really important. Like, you should be hitting Success Club, at least obviously Success Club 5, so that you're in Success Club. And if you are, like, that's amazing. Don't look at the other people and be like, well, they have 100 or they have 50. Like, just be proud that you are hitting Success Club.
Yes, I could not agree more. And that's, you know, something that Keisha also touched on with us. Is she's like, I hit Success Club 10 by the 10th, and I spend the rest of the time working with my team, you know, and like making sure that they are, you know, feeling successful and doing whatever it takes. So I appreciate the honesty and the transparency there.
It's easy to compare being on Ashley's team. I mean, because of the high numbers, and, you know, even one of mine and Bernie's good friends, Allie Griffith, you know, seeing her numbers, it's like, okay, well then what am I not doing right? You know, and then I have to check myself, because I'm like, well, I don't do this full time, and it's not about that, you know? And so yeah, that's so true.
Awesome. Girls, do you have any questions? Ladies, do you have any questions about or anything or for Ashley? Or, I mean, not all at once. Feel free to unmute yourselves and chat.
I'm trying to think. I had a question, but I cannot remember what it was. Miriam
had put in the chat that she has lived in Utah since she was 6. I was actually born in Salt Lake City.
Yes, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the water out there, if
it's the salt water.
Oh my God. It was like everyone was so nice, but I think everyone that was with us, like, they're from Utah, like they're based in the Utah office. And I was just like, I came home and I was like, okay, like, a lot of Boston people, because that's where I live, should move out there, so like calm down and whatever. But they, like, the nicest, most genuine people.
So well, you'll get to meet Miriam. Miriam will be at Summit, so you'll get to meet another Utah gal.
Yes.
Well, I have a question, since you're not necessarily like invite driven, but what do you, when you work, what does it look like? Like, are you just focused on looking through people's stories and replying, or are you just going through your followers? Like, what does that look like?
Like, how am I inviting?
I guess, or connecting or whatnot.
So I will tell you, because I'm very honest, I was using a third party. I was using Stim until I got blocked from Instagram, and I got really freaked out about it, and I shut my account off. So it definitely helped grow my following. I need to be much better about going and following more people, because I did shut it off, and right now I'm not using anything. There's just way too much of that blocking going on right now. They're changing everything. Pay attention, because people, I mean, you'll see it in the Coach Family page. People are getting blocked left and right. If you do too many like follows, likes, comments, whatever. So what I do is I do a lot of transformation pictures, because I have had a big transformation. So I'll do that like once or twice a week. So anyone that likes those 100% gets an invite from me. I will look up hashtags from people. I do like a lot of like law enforcement officer wives, because I get the schedule, I get the life. So I'll comment, I'll start following them, things like that. I have like cold invited people like that. It doesn't always work out, because again, I haven't really made that relationship yet. Anyone watching my stories, I do reach out to. I will do random polls. If people take my poll, even if it has nothing to do with fitness and it has to do with the color dress I'm wearing to a wedding, I will reach out to the person and be like, thank you so much, things like that. But it's really whoever's liking my stuff. I will search, again, I search hashtags. I want to live in the South so bad. Like, Nashville is my jam. Yes.
I'm like 30 minutes away from Nashville. I'm in Tennessee. Like, several of us are.
How psychotic I am is that I looked up the Nashville Police Department to see if my husband could transfer, because I want to move to Franklin, Tennessee. And yep, I know. I look at the houses, I look at the schools, but I'm crazy. But he has so many years in that he would have to start at the bottom again, and we can't. But anyways, so I follow people from the South. Like, I love Austin, Texas, so I do that. I connect that way. Sometimes like through bloggers, I'll do that as well. I do need to be, better about, I do make the connection, and I do make, I try to do like the relationship and all of that with people. But I kind of, it really depends. But the other thing I do is, someone said, hiding locations behind like a picture. So like, I pick random places. I'll do Los Angeles, New York. I think I did Oklahoma one day, and I hide them behind a picture. So you don't know that I'm tagging it, but my story is showing up in like the Oklahoma page. So that drives new people to my page. And then that way I can reach out. And sometimes I just thank people for watching my stories. I don't even do the invite. I'm just like, hey, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate it. And again, I've made connections with people that just don't have an interest in at-home workouts, but we've connected on other levels. And some of them are like the coolest chicks. And I'm hoping, one day they will, sign up with me. And if they don't, whatever, I made a connection, I made a friend, and yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it, because it's like, just having the casual conversation, like, eventually will just lead into something more, typically. And especially if they're watching your stories and seeing what you're about, like, and having that credibility, like, you clearly do something. So eventually, like, whatever they're complaining about, or, oh, I wish I had your energy, or whatever it is, like, you have something to kind of fall back on too. So I love that.
Yeah. I also, we had our team call the other night, and I told them that, even if you're not going and commenting on people's pictures, like right now, people on Instagram, obviously we all have 5 seconds, like, attention span. People are more watching stories than they are looking at your highlight reel, whatever. So what I've started to do is, those like quick replies, like the emojis or like whatever, if I see something I like or something is funny, like the laughing emoji, like I just click it because I'm still connecting with that person. And it's so quick to do that. I don't do it randomly. Well, I do it randomly, but like I have to obviously like their post. But it's a way for them to be like, oh, she's watching this. She took the time to send this, and they always like it back, or they'll say something, and those start conversations too. Something else. So this month, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not having the best month. I'm at SC2. I will hit Success Club because that's how it is, but I just have not had a really good month. So something I'm thinking of doing is a referral program, where if somebody refers someone to sign up with me, they're going to get, I don't know, like say 5 days of Energize or something, and I'll send them the sticks. But anybody that signs up with me or even says they're interested, I make them send me their email address, because that was something I think Melanie Mitro said years ago, like always grab their emails, because if Facebook and Instagram go down and you don't have people's contact information, how are you going to get a hold of them? So what I do is whenever someone says they're interested, I have an email listed out like about what a challenge pack is, what my groups are, super quick. But I get their email to email them that. And when I get their email, I throw it in MailChimp. And then that way, if I want to send out a newsletter, I can. I have all their emails. But I'm thinking of doing a referral program, and also really boosting up Morning Meltdown 100 to see if people are game to try it.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Ladies, anything else? If not, we
You guys
can
always reach out to me too. Like I said, I connect with other coaches all the time. You can find me Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want. I will answer anything. I'm very honest.
Thank you.
I just think it's amazing connecting with other people. I really appreciate you guys asking me to be here. This was after the call. If there's any questions, whatever, just reach out to me. Don't be scared, because I think some people get nervous like asking other coaches things, and I'm not like that. That's how I connected with this girl Stephanie. Like she randomly reached out, and I was like, oh, like, are you into beach body? She's like, oh, I'm a coach. And her and I, like, I joke, I'm like, you're my brunette twin from Chicago. And her and I just like hit it off, and she's just so appreciative of this friendship, and so am I. And so anybody that wants to reach out, don't be scared. Just reach out and I'll answer anything.
Have you taken the Enneagram test?
No, but everybody talks about it. But
I'm like, too.
I feel like you may be a 7 like myself.
That's what Ashley said. Yeah, but we went. It's funny because that's what she thought I was. I'm like, I haven't taken it. It's one of those things that everybody's talking about it, and I'll do it like it's not a fad anymore, and I'll do it.
Like nobody is a 7 around me. Like none of them are 7s. Nobody like. I'm like, I need like Keisha's a 7, and I was like, okay, we're the same person, but like I'm like, I need another 7.
All right, I'll take it, and I'll let you know what I am.
Yes. Well, we're excited to meet you, and because like I said, most of the girls on this call, they're going to Summit, and you'll get to meet all of us in person, and we'll see you at the Thursday event for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm very excited.
Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a great night. We will chat soon.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.